Man, y'all seen all this drone stuff? It's been a big couple of weeks for spaghetti people, ain't it? First, their boy Luigi takes down insurance Bowser, and now half of New Jersey is sending in home videos to CNN where they're out in the yard like, Ma, we have friggin' ET scanning the garage out here. You know, listen, I gotta be careful with this subject because, full disclosure, I'm pretty into aliens. I am, always have been. That used to be fine, by the way. Used to, you could believe in aliens without people assuming that automatically means you also believe in vaccines that turn people into transgender lizard globalists or whatever. It's like, no, I just believe in flying saucers, not a bunch of crazy shit. All right, no, I get that it's a little inconsistent. All right, earlier I was reading some people online saying this whole thing is a false flag operation from the deep state so they can institute a one world government. And I was like, okay, well, obviously that's absurd. Now, if we could just get back to my theory that the two types of drones represent eternally warring and philosophically disparate alien factions engaged in a Cold War for the future of humanity. All right, that'd be great. Thank you. Now, listen, as bad as I hate to say it, no, I don't think this is aliens. But what is it? Is it our government, our military, and enemy's military, mass hysteria? Some people say it's our own military secret tech and they're scanning for something like a lost nuke. But all these sightings are at night, so apparently they're not that concerned about it. I feel like I speak for most of us when I say if the job at hand is finding a lost nuke, maybe pull a double shift or two, guys. Authorize some overtime, right? I get that it's the holidays and shadowy military operators have family plans too, but still, threat of total annihilation and all. And then like an enemy military, no, we'd be shooting them down already. Y'all remember during the whole Chinese weather balloon thing we had? Yeah, well, during that, the Air Force shot a goddamn Patriot missile at some kid's science project. Like, we'll take any excuse to explode stuff in this country. But even more so than that, we will take any excuse to freak out over nothing. All right, like I said, Chinese weather balloon thing. At one point, that was supposed to be aliens of World War III too. Like, we just do this every now and then, and it almost always amounts to nothing, right? Homicidal clowns in the woods, anybody? That's a throwback, right? So as boring of an answer as it is, I got to go with mass hysteria here. The White House's official statement is that most of these sightings are just misidentified normal things, and that's probably true. Because apparently, even though people don't know this, the night sky is just lousy with all kinds of lit up shit, and now because of this story, people are looking up and they see what they want. Tons of these reported sightings have already been confirmed 100% to actually just be like far off planes or whatever. Like, imagine Lauren Boebert outside with binoculars like, dear God, you see that glowing orb in the sky? It's massive. And her assistant's like, Congresswoman, that's the moon. Like, people just be seeing stuff, y'all. Not to mention all the people sending up their own drones to go find all the drones in the sky, and in doing so, filling the sky with drones. Like, we just do this whole freak out over nothing thing with some regularity. And as much as I would love to grab a towel and head to an intergalactic kegger, I think we're probably doing it again right now. That's all I'm saying. YouTube, if you ask me, one of the wildest parts about this story, as is often the case in this country, has been the media coverage so far of it and how much it can vary. Let me show you what I mean. All right, y'all, we're here on Ground News' website. They also have a mobile app and a Chrome extension looking at stories about what else. Mysterious drone sightings across eastern U.S. raise public concerns and conspiracy theories. You look at the coverage breakdown, over 215 sources already, pretty mainstream. This story, most of the outlets are aligned in the center. You have some more on the right than the left. None of that overly surprising. But if you look down here and you sort by bias of the outlets, you can see from the headlines some kind of surprising trends emerging. If you look at left-leaning outlets, you see here it talks about drone hysteria gripping the U.S. It says, like we're stupid, the most bizarre drone theory shared as MAGA melts down. This one here quotes Joe Rogan. And you can tell these are on the left because you can see from every headline, you can see the bias of the outlet, the factuality rating, and the ownership group, where the money comes from. So much more information and context than you're going to get from anywhere else. But you can see on the left, they seem to be focused on the hysteria. If you look on the right now, instead, a lot of their recent stories are focused on the government's response to it, the deploying of high-tech systems to detect these drones, special detection systems, how senators are calling for DHS secretaries to deploy special technology amid the surge in sightings. So, sometimes it's a little bizarro day. Out here at least feels like the left is kind of focused on the hysteria while the right seems to be focused on the objective response, at least when it comes to this story. What are you going to do? Sometimes things are weird. That's why I like Ground News. I've been working with them for more than a year now because they add all that context and transparency and add extra insight to your media coverage. You can follow along at ground.news/Trey, or you can scan that QR code right now. They've got a lot of other great features. One that I love is the blind spot feature. This allows you to keep up with articles that are not being shared on either side of the political spectrum right now. So things that either the left or the right are not reporting. This allows you to get outside of your own bubble for a little while, which I think is something in this day and age we could all use a little more of. So if that sounds good to you, scan that QR code there or click the link in the description below to try Ground News. You can get 50% off their highest tiered unlimited access Vantage plan. That's their steepest discount of the year. You can get it for yourself, or 'tis the season, give it as a gift for someone else. This comes out to only $5 a month. It's a sweet deal. The time is now. Get some context in your life. Push back on the bias and BS. Try Ground News today. All right, YouTube, man, we're back. No, I don't think that it is aliens, but I'm about ready for the aliens to show up, though. Frankly, I've been ready for it. You know what I mean? It's like, let's give them a shot at it. I don't feel like that, them being in charge could be too much worse than what we're dealing with or got coming up here soon. If they've mastered space flight, then you have to assume some degree of competency and intelligence there. And I feel like having some more of that in leadership would be worth a little anal probing here and there. Also, we can just finally fill out that whole, apocalyptic bingo card we've been working on since, 2016 or so, right? Why not bring them on? I don't know if they'd want to be here. I feel like we would freak them out pretty quickly if they did come here and observe us. We're just too unstable. Even if aliens did show up with their big laser beams, like, all right, humanity, cooperate or face extermination, like half of humanity would grab that big ass death ray and shove it to our collective forehead, like, do it, you fucking cowards. Aliens just like, whoa, Jesus, okay, all right, you guys clearly got some stuff going on. We're just gonna circle the Milky Way. Which, good luck with all that. What the fuck? Like, alien. I don't even know if the aliens can hang with us, dude. We're too wild. But no, it's not aliens. Who knows what it is? Whatever it ends up being, and I do hope it's nothing. But whatever it ends up being, I do think the government, their initial response at least was pretty poor. They didn't handle it well. The press conferences they gave, it's just like, because they were up there, it's like, listen, we don't have a clue what it is, but it's totally fine. It's like, what? That's like when your wife says, like, I'm not mad, just don't even worry about it. It's like, no, you see, that makes me feel like you are mad, and also that I should definitely be worried about it. Just something about that. It's like, it's just a weird way to answer these questions. It's like, also, since when does the government not lie? Like, just lie, dog. Ain't that y'all's whole thing? I know you don't, ain't you ever seen Men in Black? Like, I know you don't actually have that little blinking brain damage stick in real life or nothing, but make something up. Some kind of cover story. It's just a testing exercise for a new fleet of autonomous search and rescue drones that are totally unarmed and meant for disaster scenarios. See, I made it up in like 3 seconds, dude. It's like, you can come up with something, but now just getting up there and just being like, yeah, no, we don't know, but it is weird, right? Shit is weird. But anyway, it'd be fine. Just go back to your Christmas shopping and totally don't build a bunker or evacuate the entire East Coast or anything. All right, no more questions, guys. Thanks. It's like, what was it? That last part, what was that? Just seemed weird. This whole thing just seems weird, what you guys are doing, how you're acting right now. And it kind of does, but I think it's probably fine. I mean, if I was Joe Biden, I wouldn't want to deal with this shit. He's got to be like, aliens. It's like, dude, I got a month left. Just run out the clock, for God's sake. It's like in 80s action movies where, the old cop is 2 weeks from retirement, and then some fucking terrorist diamond thief with a James Bond villain plot shows up. Like, Joe Biden said, I'm too old for this shit. No telling how many times already this week. But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I hope it amounts to nothing. I could see us turning it into something, even if it is nothing. It would be very like America to accidentally start an international incident or kick off World War III over misidentified quadcopters in the Garden State. That seems like some shit that we would do. So I hope it is nothing and it fades quickly. But, also, if it turns out to not be nothing, if this is the beginning of the apocalypse, boy, am I going to have egg on my face. Right? Saying with confidence, I didn't think it was getting, I'd like to think that if it is the start of the apocalypse, no one's going to remember or care what little old me said. But I've been on the internet long enough to know that until the absolute death of comment sections, there will be people in mine being like, I thought you said it was fine, huh? You fraud. Like, that's what's going to happen. I think we can all agree that me having to deal with internet trolls would be the worst part of any kind of apocalypse scenario. No, I don't know. I just don't like to be wrong. So, but also I don't want everyone to die. So for those reasons, I really hope that it is nothing. And I think that it probably is, if it is, I don't know, if it is the aliens and they're mean, the best I can hope for is just, maybe I'll make a good pet or like spaceship jester or something. Maybe they'll think it's funny when I say big words with my accent too. Make him say smorgasbord again, something like that. But I think in all likelihood, this will fade and probably pretty quickly. And in fact, I think you might be able to argue that before long, a lot of us will be wishing we had a distraction like this again as we return back to our regularly scheduled programming of terrible Trumpian bullshit. So yeah, let's enjoy the holiday and the end of another God-forsaken year, and I'll see you guys in 2025. I appreciate you all watching. Up here, it got some videos and stuff. This is my special. I got a new one coming very soon, just so you know. And then also, you can subscribe to the channel, see all these videos and my podcast and other things I'm planning coming up in the future. Most important to me, the other square or circle, whatever it is, TreyCrowder.com. It's my website where you can see my tour dates where I do stand-up comedy. That's what I really do. If I'm coming near you, you should come see me. If you like these, you'll like that. People have a good time. I have a good time. It's fun. But as long as you just keep watching these silly things here, I'll keep making them. I love you like chicken. Happy holidays. See you. Bye.